I don't love it, but I don't hate it, but I kind of want it. I don't know. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Hello, my beautiful besties. I hope you guys are doing fabulous today. If this is your first time here, my name is Shells. I cover fragrance, beauty, lifestyle, all the things. So if this sounds like your type of vibe, I welcome you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop me some comments down below so we can get to know each other. Besties, in today's video, I will be talking about the releases for 2026 that I currently have my hands on. And I'm not gonna lie, I am starting to feel overstimulated already. The releases are coming back to back, and I don't know how I feel about that. So if you want to see the new releases that I have in my collection, just keep on watching. Besties, your girl has become responsible. I have learned my lesson. I am not blind buying any of these fragrances. Neither am I buying full bottles unless I deem it absolutely necessary. It has to be a love for me to say, yes, I need a full bottle of this, okay? The first fragrance I'm going to talk about is the new release from Valentino, and it is called Born in Roma Purple Melancholia. Now, this fragrance, I have the travel size of it. And what I will say, if you're a lover of plum, you're gonna love this. Before I even saw the notes and I sprayed this, I said this smells like a nice, ripe, deep, juicy plum. Okay, how do I feel about this fragrance? It smells nice, but I was not wowed. You know, I didn't smell this and say, oh, wow, I need it right now. You know, I need it in my collection. Run out and go grab it. It is nice, but I don't think I will be picking up a full-size bottle of this one. I have 3 or 4 of the Born in Roma flankers, and my favorite is the original Donna Born in Roma, and this does not top that for me. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if they released this, you know, to be a transitional scent, because it is a bit deep to me. The plum smells very, how do I say this now? The plum is just deep. It leans a bit mature too, you know? This doesn't smell like a bright and uplifting scent, you know? It's not screaming spring, summer to me. This is more fall, you know, those cooler weather, maybe, you know, early winter is the vibe I am getting from this. But it is nice. So if you love plum and osmanthus and vanilla, then you like it. But it's not a groundbreaking scent. It doesn't remind me of anything, if I'm being honest. But if you're a freshie, you know, and you like more sparkling, uplifting, fruity, springtime type of fragrances, I don't think this is going to be the one for you. But fragrances are subjective. Go get your nose on it and see if you vibe with it. So yeah, Donna Born in Roma Purple Melancholia. Besties, I am especially proud of myself for not blind buying or picking up a full bottle of this fragrance, because you know I ride hard for the Libre line. This next fragrance is the newest from the Libre line, and this is called Libre Berry Crush. YSL, I love y'all to death, but take time with the flanker then, please. Like, I feel like at this point you guys have released 150 flankers. I don't know, you guys are just releasing them left and right. And I'm saying, you know what, I'm not even gonna complain, because I'm a consumer and I love to buy. You get me each time. You know, I have so many of your fragrances in my collection. What I will say, this is a nice fragrance. Like, you can't go around that. It is a very nice fragrance. In the opening, when you spray this, you do get a beautiful burst of that raspberry. It is very prominent in the opening. what I wanted from this fragrance was for the raspberry to be, you know, the dominant note, the star of the show, you know, be there throughout the life of the fragrance. And that's not the case. When this fragrance dries down, the raspberry note, you know, sort of dissipates, and, you know, it leaves you with just the DNA of the original leaf, which I absolutely love. What I will also say, this is maybe a safer bet than the original, because though there is lavender and orange blossom in here, it is not as, you know, in your face as it is in the original. But I am telling you, the wearing experience of this fragrance is tremendous. Like, it is beautiful. You know, there's just something in here too that leans, you know, very clean, almost soapy, that is not in the original one. It smells so beautiful. You know, there's something about a fragrance when you wear it and the air, you know, just bring the fragrance to your nostrils. It does something, you know, it just does something to you, and it just makes you feel so good because you know you smell good, and that's the aroma that is translating to other people's nose, you know. It smells so divine. I am still so torn. Like, the only, you know, caveat to this fragrance is it different enough for me to pick up a full bottle? I like it so much. And it's partly because I am very biased, because I love Libre. But it is good. And I do see a slight difference, but I don't know if it's different enough for me to get a full bottle, man. I'm very tempted, guys. I am very tempted. But I will say, get your nose on it and see how you vibe with it. But I think it is beautiful, just a little bit redundant. That's all I'm gonna say. I like it. So yeah, there you have it. This is YSL Berry Crush. Besties, your girl is a bit under the weather, so it is a stretch for me to be smelling these fragrances, but the show must go on, okay? This next fragrance, I was very curious to see, you know, what it would smell like, because I heard the Santa Maria talking about it, and her description of it just made me very interested. And I went to Ulta and I picked up a travel size of it. And this one is the newest from Viktor&Rolf, and this is Flowerbomb Pretty Peony. Now, one thing with me, I'm a floral girl through and through, and I love me a peony note. Once peony is done right, it could do no wrong in my eyes. And this is a beautiful fragrance, but my qualm with it is, when you say beautiful peony, you know, I picture peony to me is a more fresher floral, and I prefer, you know, when it is done in that way. That was kind of what I was hoping for with this fragrance. Though I like it, I don't think it's fresh enough for my liking. Beautiful scent. I feel like I am getting too much of the original DNA in this. You know, I was hoping that it would be, you know, somewhat in the background a little bit more, because you know that fragrance is very sweet and very patchouli heavy. You can smell patchouli in here, even though the notes are not suggesting that. But I do pick up a little of that patchouli, but it is not as, you know, prominent as it is in the original Flowerbomb. I don't know. I like it, but I just wish it was fresher, you know? Maybe I just had this vision in my mind of how I wanted the fragrance to smell, and then I kind of disappointed myself with the expectations that I had, you know? It is beautiful. This is gonna shine though in spring and summer. So it is beautiful. I would say it is definitely worth a whiff. Very feminine, very beautiful, you know, a little bit sweet, you know, a tad bit earthy, even though, I don't know. This smells like there's patchouli in here, but it is lovely, you know. It's just a matter of preference at this point. I would say still get your nose on this one. Viktor&Rolf Flowerbomb Pretty Peony. This next fragrance, I was kind of forced to get a travel size of because I was very intrigued. I wanted to see what a chai fragrance smelled like. And I saw Sharita M talking about it and she was raving, and I was like, you know what? I want to see what the tea is. So I picked up a travel size of Prada Infusion de Santal Chai. You know, a lot of these new releases have been underwhelming, but this one, I have to give it to Prada. It is very unique. It smells like nothing I have. But in the same breath, this is not gonna be for everybody. It just isn't gonna be for everybody. What I get from this fragrance, the opening is very citrusy mixed with that cardamom. And then you get the spices. And then if you know what chai smells like, if you drink chai tea, you will definitely smell the chai in here. It's also a little bit woody and a little bit musky. I feel like this could be a unisex scent. This doesn't lean feminine and it doesn't lean too masculine. It's like right in the middle. It is not a sweet scent. If you're a feminine girly girl who likes fruity, sweet, fresh fragrances, please stay away from this one. It's not going to be for you. This also has, you know, a very grown type of vibe. I feel like this is going to appeal more to more trained fragrance wearers, you know? This is not for, you know, if you're just starting out your collection. Please don't feel like a frog and just get jumpy and go buy this. No. This is for a more trained nose. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's a love, but I appreciate the difference. It's not giving redundancy. It's not giving following the trend. This fragrance is in a league of its own, and I appreciate Prada for doing that. I can appreciate that than I go to the store and every fragrance starts smelling like something I already have. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I like it. I like it because it is different. It's not typically the scent profile I will, you know, pull for. I do have, you know, a few fragrances in my collection that are not, you know, mass appealing. But something about this just smell very rich. I'm like that. If you know me, you know me love a fragrance so you're gonna make me smell rich. Dude, I don't know. I might just end up with a bottle of this. I don't know. Maybe a 1.7 if they have that size. But I don't know. I'm on the fence too. I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it, but I kind of want it. I don't know. I'm a mess. I think I more so want it because it's different. I'm in love different. If you are looking for something different, something a bit more unisex leaning, something that is not your regular, schegular type of scent, look into Prada Infusion de Santal Chai. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about, I did pick up a full-size bottle of, and this was heavily influenced by AI the Great. She kept talking about how juicy and sparkling this fragrance is. She was like, it smelled like a beautiful, juicy peach cocktail. And I said, okay, say less. So I hopped into Ulta and I got my nose on it, and she did not lie. This fragrance is so juicy and sparkling and just bright and feminine and just girly. The fragrance I'm talking about is Idole Peach and Roses. Oh, this fragrance smells so good. The opening, it's like you bite into a nice, ripe peach and you have that juice running down the side of your mouth or your fingers. What I love too, you do get the peach throughout the life of the fragrance. The peach does not go away, and I appreciate that so much. Also, the peach in here is not done where it turns funky on my skin. I love that. I came to find out that I struggle with peach a little bit, depending on the way it's done. It could lean very mature, or it's done where it doesn't mesh well with my body chemistry. It leaves a body odor type of vibe on my skin, and I don't like that. But as it starts to dry, you do pick up a very noticeable rose, not a dated rose, not an old-fashioned, old-time rose, a nice, fresh rose. And then when it settles in, you start to get the DNA of the original Idole, which I love absolutely, but I had to get rid of that fragrance because it was giving me a headache. But you do get that DNA in here as it starts to dry down. It is also a bit powdery. Can I tell you how long this lasts? Look, I already have a dent going on here. So I know this spring and summer, I'm going to wear the heck out of this fragrance. This is how I like a peach fragrance to be done. This is beautiful. I never tell a lie on the fragrance. Yeah. It is so juicy and nice. One thing about Lancome fragrances too, they're going to last. You're going to get value for your money. If you don't get your nose on any of the other fragrances I spoke about, get your nose on this one. It's going to be it, girl, for the spring and summer. Beautiful. Idole, peach, and roses. So good. The last fragrance I'm going to talk about, I did pick up a full-size bottle of. Well, not say I picked it up. I did sort of an exchange from that Givenchy, nectar pistachio mess of a fragrance. I went in stores and I exchanged that fragrance for this one. And I was quite interested to see what it would smell like as well. And you know me, once I see packaging and it appeals to my emotions, I'm going to be more inclined to even give it a try. And the fragrance I'm talking about is the new one from Balmain, and it's called Destin. Let me just reacquaint myself with this. Hold on. Okay. Hands down, beautiful scent. This smell rich, this smell grandiose, this just smell very upper echelon. This smell like a fragrance you would wear if you have money. Just put it that way. But where I will take away points from this fragrance, and this is me, I'm telling you, I'm going to keep it 150% with you guys at all times. I'm not here for a show. I'm just here to be honest with you guys. When I spray this fragrance and I smell it, I say, wait there, hold on. This is reminding me of something. And one thing with me, when it comes down to fragrances, I'm like a detective. I will stop at nothing until I find out which fragrance it reminds me of. But this didn't take long because this fragrance that it reminds me of is a very unique, exotic fragrance. And I spoke about it in one of my videos not so long ago. And I know that smell, it is so distinct. And I know it is not a common fragrance because not a lot of people talk about it. And I did also mention that fragrance is very polarizing. It's not going to be for everybody. So when I smelled this, that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm going to say this is not as, potent as that fragrance, but I cannot tell a lie. It does remind me of Divine from Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, I did a comparison with the notes, and they don't really have anything in common because this one has a strawberry note. There's peony and I think patchouli. But I can't even tell you what I'm smelling. Maybe the strawberry, it is a little earthy from that patchouli. The difference with this fragrance and the Jean Paul Gaultier is that this one is more bright and fresher. The Divine is a bit more thick and dense and rich. So this could easily be maybe a distant, no, not even distant. This could be a first cousin or maybe, a sister but different dads. You cannot deny that the DNA is there. That's the fragrance that comes to mind. Not a dupe of the fragrance, but because I have it and I know how unique that scent profile is, the minute I sprayed this, I was like, oh my God, this is giving me, you know, just a fresher, more dialed back version of Jean Paul Gaultier. The thing I'm worrying about now is, do I want to keep this fragrance? I'm leaning more towards keeping it because there are slight differences, you know? But I don't know. I'm like, why did it have to remind me of that fragrance? You know what I mean? So I'm a bit on the fence. What do I do? Do I keep it? Do I return it? I don't know. I don't know, because I have not given this a full wear yet. As you can see, the bottle is brand spanking new. I literally just pulled this out of the package for this video. I don't know. This is not an everyday fragrance. You know, you're gonna want to look your best when you pull for this scent. And the packaging is stunning. There's just something about gold that just screams, you know, opulence and just wealth and all the things, you know? Yeah, but this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful release from Balmain. It's just that me and my nose, I'm going to pick up when it reminds me of other things, you know? But I like it. It is really, really nice. Yeah, so I would say get your nose on Destin from Balmain. Boy, besties, they're coming in hard for 2026 with these fragrance releases. Geez, gonna take time. Would we take time? Let us get our coins together before you guys start flinging fragrance left and right, you know? But I don't know. I'm trying my very best not to get sucked into the hype this year because I don't know. I'm not impressed all the way yet. I have not smelled a fragrance that, you know, just have me in awe, you know, have my jaw to the floor. And that's what I am kind of hoping for. But I do want to know, you know, your thoughts on these new releases. How are they going for you? Do you like them? Do you think they're redundant? Are you overstimulated like myself, you know? So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. So sound off down in the comments. If you have gotten to this point in my video, besties, I hope that you like the video enough to subscribe and become a part of my little family. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful one, and I will see you in another video. Bye.